Hi, welcome to Arthur's online autism presentation. I am Arthur Riley and I'm on the autism spectrum. This is part two of Arthur's Autism Eats. Today I will be sharing two of my favorite foods from Los Angeles. I will start off with Olvera Street, one of my favorite places for Mexican food. The decor reminds me of the trips I've taken to Mexico. In fact, many years ago, when I was about 16 or 17, my first trip to Olvera Street was from an overnight bus trip Mom and I took from Fresno, California. Disneyland the first day, followed by Olvera Street the following day. And for me, I felt the timing could not have been better because it reminded me of a trip we took to Mazatlan a few months before for winter vacation. Back then, I remembered how much I enjoyed the decor and had tacos for lunch. I do not remember what kind I had. However, I remembered how much I really enjoyed them. I don't remember the name of the restaurant either. However, I remembered I loved the quaint atmosphere. My memorable trip was in the late 1990s. I was living in Las Vegas at the time, and I became friends with someone who worked at one of the restaurants I frequented. We became friends. He was originally from Los Angeles. Sure enough, we found out we're both big Dodger fans. I'm keeping his name private for the respect of his privacy. So finally, we got to know each other better. We decided to take an overnight trip to Los Angeles to catch a couple of Dodger games. The Saturday night one followed by the Sunday afternoon the following day. We finally arrived in Los Angeles that Saturday afternoon. We went to Olvera Street. I remember having shredded beef taquitos. I don't remember the name of the place. However, I remember it was right in the middle of Olvera Street. They were my favorite beef taquitos of all time. I remember all they needed was a little bit of green salsa. To me, each bite I took, I call it pure heaven. They were that good. It's been over 20 years since I've had them. However, all these years, not a month went by that I have not thought of them at least once, maybe twice, or maybe more, depending on what time of the year it was. Since that time, I had several shredded beef taquitos, which I love. However, the ones from Olvera Street were still my all time favorite. And the next one I want to mention is Original Tommy's Great Chili Burgers. It's from the same trip my friend from Vegas and I went to. It was the next morning. We thought we'd have an early lunch before going to the afternoon Dodger game. So he introduced me to one of his favorite local burger joints from Los Angeles, which was Original Tommy's. In fact, the original shack on Beverly and Rampart, right in the heart of Los Angeles. And it wasn't even 11. There was still a line. Not a long one, but a line nevertheless. Right before I ordered my hamburger, I noticed a couple parking lots at least across the street. I asked him, why would a small shack like this need extra parking lots? And he mentioned back in their heyday before they had other locations, There was always long lines for those Tommy burgers because it was so popular. I thought, oh my goodness. Sure enough, if I remember right, I saw an older picture of that same Tommy's location with long line, at least 100, probably close to 200. Quite hard to tell from looking at the picture, but a huge line nevertheless. Although I've never returned to that location, I've had the pleasure of tasting Tommy burgers along with their awesome fries at other locations. First, I want to mention the one in Barstow, California. Back then, I was still living in Las Vegas. And this particular Tommy's was located right in the heart of Barstow, right off Interstate 15. I would say approximately halfway between Los Angeles and Las Vegas. I still had the pleasure of enjoying their awesome chili burgers along with their wonderful fries. Now, what photo did they have at that location? The one with the original Tommies of years of yore with the long line waiting for those burgers. Guess that's their way of telling everybody how popular they were back then. Still are. The one that I have most fond memories of was located at the Universal Studios City Walk. What I loved about that location, it was in the middle of a food court, plenty of outdoor tables. Upper level, I believe it was a second or third level. I don't quite remember because it's been at least 15 years since I've been there. However, the one fond memory of this Tommy's location was going out in the food court. I'll never forget a huge screen to watch music videos. To me, that screen was larger than many movie theater screens. I thought, life didn't get any better than this. Having an awesome Tommy burger with the fries and watching some music videos. Out of curiosity, I went through the original Tommy's website just to see if that location at Universal Studios was still there. Didn't find it. I thought, uh-oh. Well, I did more research. According to what I found, that particular Tommy's location shut down or closed several years ago. First, I thought, oh no. However, I said to myself, despite the fact that that particular location is no longer around, the memories of me eating at that particular Tommy's location will live with me forever. Eating those burgers and enjoying those fries and watching them awesome music videos. So, in review, I shared a couple of my favorite foods in Los Angeles. Olvera Street, especially those shredded beef taquitos. Still my all-time favorite, despite the fact I have not eaten them in over 20 years. Then the Tommy Burgers, starting with the original location at Beverly and Rampart, along with Barstow, California, and the one at Universal Studios City Walk. Once again, according to my research, this location is closed. If I'm mistaken, I apologize. But once again, this is just based on my research. Whether I'm right or wrong, that memory of that particular Tommy's will live with me forever, once again. So thank you for taking the time to watch my video. If you like what you heard today, please click like and the subscribe button. My next presentation, I'll be sharing some of my favorite foods from San Diego. So I will see you then. Have a great day.